everybody. It is Shambong Friday. I have no Shambong in sight here, but I do have champagne and just like a little regular glass that I'll be pouring into. Courtney's got his Shambong. I need
myself on. Mine, don't worry.
You guys, make sure you subscribe to Hollyscoop, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up if you love Shambong Friday, which we know you do. Leave a comment below, share this video with your friends. I'm Devyn Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevynHoward, and we've got Courtney.
I am Courtney Revolution, and you can find me all over social, I almost said social revolution. You can find me all over social media and on YouTube as Courtney Revolution.
Go look him up, you guys. Okay, so we have a lot of news to get into today. We're going to be talking, obviously, about Lady Gaga. My wig is gone. Courtney, your wig is gone. I saw that Wesley...
Blast it off into the stratosphere.
Yeah, it's never coming back at this point. We also are talking about Cardi B and the little Twitter feud that she got into. It's a bit of a touchy subject, but I'm glad that we're going to be talking about it. We're also getting into Madison Beer, who is on the receiving end of a lot of criticism. Olivia Jade and what she has planned for the future. We've got some engagements. We've got some babies, some breakups, some makeups. Not even makeups. We're talking about couples. And then also, Khloe clapped back at another troll over the photo that, where she looks unrecognizable. And then finally, some more insight as to why Scott and Sofia broke up. The docket is full. But Courtney, how are you feeling today on this Friday? What do you have planned for the weekend? I want to hear from you before we jump into celebrity news.
I just want to say right away, when I tell you today is TGIF, I mean that with a capital T and an extra large mug. Thank the Lord it's Friday. Honestly, Devyn, I have been overextending myself the past couple weekends. So this weekend, maybe I might just lay down and watch RuPaul's Drag Race because I'm very behind on the season. And tonight is the finale. So I won't be looking at the chat because I know y'all might spoil. But I'm very excited to see RuPaul's Drag Race this weekend and catch up and get back into my faves. I only saw the first 2 episodes. So what about yourself, Devyn? What are you going to be doing besides packing up them boxes, girl?
That is literally all I'm going to be doing. I have so much stuff, and this week has been so busy for me, so I haven't been able to do any packing. All the packing that I have done so far was done last weekend, so all of the little things that I use every day, like, the things that I thought I might need throughout the week, those still need to go into boxes. I have to drive them over. I'm looking forward to being all settled into my new place, but I am not looking forward to this move. I hate moving so much.
Me too, Devyn, and I want you to be careful moving just because there's a lot going on with the pandemic and other crises happening all at once. So, girl, are you packing up the truck? Girl, you packing up the car? Just be careful. Put your mask on, girl. Put your hair up in a good bun, girl. And get to work so that you can get cozy and settled in your new abode, girl. Yes.
Yes. And then once the pandemic is over, or once at least things settle down a little bit, you'll have to come over. We can have some champagne, some vegan food, any nuts.
Without the nuts. No cashew cream, Devyn. No cashew cream, girl, because my throat be closed up. You'll be calling somebody, the ambulance, girl. You'll be calling the ambulance. Come get them.
I don't want that to happen. I will never. Remember the one time that I brought in vegan coffee cake for the morning tea, and I checked the ingredients like 1,000 times to make sure that it wouldn't kill Courtney, because I don't want that to happen.
And I appreciate that, Devyn. The girls don't check. Sometimes it's just like, oh, have this. It's so good. It's vegan. I think I might have told you this a really long time ago, but I had zoodles. And the zoodles had the creamy Alfredo sauce. And girl, when I tell you, it was banging. Shout out to my vegans because it was banging. It was so good. Until my throat, I noticed a very noticeable itch in my throat and also on my taste buds, on my tongue. They were not twerking because of the flavor, but they were twerking because my mouth was swelling up. So, gotta be careful with cashews, girl.
Yes, that's really scary. That I would be like so nervous, I feel like, to go out to eat, and because you never know if they're using peanut oil or anything like that. Yeah. So I applaud you for going to restaurants still and being diligent about checking those nuts in there.
I got you, girl. Life or death, girl.
This conversation is kind of strange. Anyway, a couple little things that I want to touch on before we jump into OMT. So I don't know how many of you watch Vanderpump Rules, but I love that show. It is just the best, like, trash reality TV. So dramatic. But Sheena Shea, if you guys are familiar with her, she's one of the longtime cast members on the show, and an editor of the show came out in an interview recently, like maybe about a week ago, and said that she intentionally edited the show to portray Sheena in a bad light so that she looked like very desperate and very boy crazy. And it worked. I mean, watching the show, you would think like, wow, Sheena is going wild. But the truth is that she had kind of like manipulated things, as we know editors do, but I think she did so in a way that was such a breach of her contract with the company that she was let go. And now Sheena is talking about it, and she said that none of her co-stars stuck up for her when they saw how she was portrayed in the show. She said that she was crying when she heard about this editor revealing the truth behind like her intentions whenever she was editing Sheena's segments. So I just thought that was interesting to mention. I feel sort of bad for Sheena because, she was depicted in a very negative way. But have you ever seen Vanderpump Rules, Courtney, or you don't watch that show?
I don't watch Vanderpump Rules, but I love Lisa Vanderpump. I want to go back to the editor thing, so I don't want to give away too much because I don't know what's going on with like paperwork and contracts. But I had a friend that did a reality show, and he also was very frustrated because he felt like he told a very genuine, fleshed out story on his time on the show, and then when the show came out, it was very, Devyn, when I tell you it was the most one-dimensional representation of my friend. Like, this is a person that has like multiple chapters to his story. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's strange that the editors have so much power and they get to pick and choose exactly what kind of story your character is going to play on the show. But that sucks that you have to lose your job. Does she have a personal vendetta against the girl Sheena? Does she ain't like her or something?
I think Sheena is she can be a little bit outrageous. She can say things that I don't think a lot of people normally say. So, I mean, the truth is there has to be kind of a foundation there to, of that kind of persona in order to edit it and amplify it in a way like that. So I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if she had this personal vendetta, but I think she was just taking creative liberties with like the interviews and the behind the scenes drama and twisting it so that it heard pretty bad. But anyway, I just wanted to fill you guys in on that. I found that kind of interesting. I like Vanderpump Rules. I like all those like Bravo shows, so I'm all about it. And then finally, another thing I just want to throw in there because we have talked about it, I think every day on the morning tea, Kristin Cavallari's friends admitted that they saw a shady side to Jay in the months prior to their split. They said that the marriage was super up and down. He was never pleasant to be around. He was always very rude to the cameramen, the crew that were filming their reality show, and he was apparently a shouter with a temper, like I said earlier this week, and friends saw these issues brewing a lot in the months prior to their split. So there's that little bit of information for you all.
I'm going to say this, and just keep it cute. If I was Kristin, all I'm going to say is this. Cancel the show. She made the right decision because at the end of the day, I'm not going to risk losing my children to someone that could potentially be like aggressive with cast and crew, and you ain't about to be shouting at my babies, period.
Right.
So good job, Kristin.
I agree. Okay, you guys, let's jump right into OMT. And of course, the first thing that we are going to be talking about is Lady Gaga. So let's get that tea poured up. I'm going to have, or no, we're doing are we doing shambongs right now? Or is that before?
Well, shambong, that come a little bit later, right? Right after Car Jenner tea time, girl. We're going to hit the shambong gong. And we're going to get into some things. But we're going to hit this tea first, girl.
I am eager to be drinking at 8:45 a.m., so that's why I was asking.
Silly.
Okay. Here is my tea. Cheers to Lady Gaga's new album. Okay. So, Courtney, I'm going to hand it over to you to start, and then I have one song that I want to talk about, but I just need to hear all your thoughts. I know you shared this on your YouTube channel yesterday, but give us like the Spark Notes version.
Okay, the Spark Notes version of the broadcast that I did last night, I reacted to Chromatica live in full, demonetized, girl, full songs. The album, in case you haven't heard it yet, if you're skeptical, if you're on the fence, if you're wondering if she's going to give us Joanne again, if you're wondering if there's a guitar somewhere in the guitar case, it's not going to come out. Lady Gaga said, put your shoes on, put on some glitter, fishnets perhaps, because for the next 40 minutes, we are going to dance. Devyn, we are getting interludes, we're getting strings, we are getting dance bop after dance bop after dance bop. Even the sad songs, Devyn, are still somewhat of a dance bop. Elton John, vocals on fleek. Ariana Grande, ponytail strong as ever. Blackpink, love them. Blink, blink, shout out to Lisa. Love the album. It is a 20 out of 10. This is Lady Gaga's best album. Blew Born This Way out of the water because that was my favorite album from her. Shout out to Judas. But this is just a whole nother level. It is what I call an experience. This is not a vibe. This is not a project. This is not an album. This is an experience. That's how I will sell that to y'all. Please stream Chromatica all day and night. To me, it's the perfect sister album to Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. You play Dua Lipa in the day while you're cleaning your house, getting yourself together, and at night before you call the homegirls over for the pregame, you turn on that Chromatica and you light the night on fire. That's what you do. Shout out to Stephanie.
So clearly you guys, Courtney hated the album.
I hated it.
I agree with you 100% on all the points that you just made. I was listening to it this morning. I couldn't start listening to it last night because I don't know if any of you guys saw, but I was dealing with an injured bird for like 3 hours last night. So everything, my whole evening was pushed back several hours. So I couldn't listen to the album when it came out. Yeah, the bird.
Like you have a bird?
No. I took a little. I was down at the beach. I took a quick little walk to refresh my mind before beginning my evening assignments. It was supposed to only be 30 minutes. Came across a bird with a broken wing, and so I was trying to find a rescue organization that would come help me, and it took me forever to get a hold of one. Then somebody came, and now the bird's at the vet, and they have high hopes for him. So I'm really excited, but it put my evening back a lot.
The Snow White jumped out. Like, I thought that's something Snow White would do. Like, girl, who knows, girl? I might have had a couple of drinks and walked right on by the bird. You cared about the bird and made sure the bird could flap again. Good job, Devyn. That's good karma. Shout out to you.
Aw, thank you. He was cute. We sat and talked for about 2 hours. We had a nice time. Anyway, that's beside the point. I could not listen to the album last night, but I did listen while I was getting ready this morning. It was amazing. I loved it. Such a great album. I wish that we could go out to the club, to the bars this weekend so we could be listening to it, but of course we can't, so we'll just have to throw some dance parties in our living rooms. But I did want to talk about fun tonight, and I want to know if you see what everyone else is seeing, Courtney. People think that the song is all about her ex. They think it's just like a one major drag about Christian Carino, I think his last name was. I can't remember now. Some of the lyrics say things like, "You love the paparazzi, you love the fame, even though you know it causes me pain. I feel like I'm in a prison. Hell, stick my hands to the steel bars and yell, what happens now? I'm not okay. And if I scream, you walk away." The chorus says, "I can see it in your face. You don't think I've pulled my weight. Maybe it's time for us to say goodbye." So Lady Gaga has not admitted that the song is about her ex, but Courtney, do you see how it could be?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like Lady Gaga is good at writing from her personal experience. So maybe she was involved with someone that was a little thirsty for the fame, a thirst bucket, if you will, Devyn Howard. And that's unfortunate because we know that Lady Gaga is an icon. She's a powerhouse performer, and she should have someone that is more of a partner to her than someone that just wants all of her attention, someone that wants her to give up all of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I think Lady Gaga's so powerful and so independent, so it needs to be somebody that can coexist with her and not expect her to just bend over backwards or, and who's willing to accept everything and accept the way she feels about paparazzi and the limelight and all of that. Okay, let's move on into another music artist, but we're switching gears entirely here. So Cardi B, she actually sparked a Twitter debate after she posted a video of the protesters looting that Target in Minneapolis. We've seen this. I'm sure you all have seen this. It's a major response to what that police brutality incident that we saw earlier this week. Many fans were supporting Cardi's stance. She, in her tweet, and Leo's going to throw that up for you right now. In her tweet, it says, I don't like this type of violence, but it is what it is. Too many peaceful marches, too many ending trash hashtags, and no solutions. The people are left with no choice. So people were pretty supportive. Someone sent her a video of Martin Luther King Jr. saying a riot is the language of the unheard. But then Cardi also responded to that controversial right-wing news broadcaster Tommy Loren's tweet that reads, quote, "How does looting, rioting, and destroying your own community bring justice for anyone?" Cardi clapped back saying, "How does targeting, profiling, beating, and murdering Black men with no consequence equal serving and protecting? Who is giving them justice and trust on cops? Mind your business and eat your salad." So Cardi and Tommy have gone at it with each other before, and I always respect Cardi for speaking her mind and for being vocal about political issues, because I think a lot of celebrities are afraid to do that kind of thing because they don't want to be too polarizing. They don't want to offend any one of her fans. But I like that Cardi is always willing to go out there and put herself out there and make her beliefs and her voice heard. And I think that's important in this kind of time.
I think in this particular situation, you're absolutely right, Devyn. There are lots of other situations where Cardi has stood behind a stance and then literally the same day done the exact opposite. So I wouldn't give her all of that. However, because I know that there are going to be 25 million comments saying that no matter what I say about Cardi just said, y'all already know that I'm the Cardi hater. So let me just go on record and say how I honestly, truly feel. I think that everything that she said was absolutely correct. I really think that it's funny that the same people that were silent during the murder of George Floyd are all of a sudden very vocal and up in arms about the riots and the looting. And I feel like when there was kneeling happening, when there were peaceful protests happening, no change. It was suck it up, eat your food, eat your salad, like Cardi said. And now that there is action happening, there's conversation. It's almost something that has to become inescapable. And Devyn, why does, one, a Black man have to die at the hands of the police? Two, Target got to be burned down. The Target that was funding the police department had to be burned down. Why do all of these things have to happen instead of justice? Arrest the police officer or officers that watched. You get what I'm saying? All of this could have been prevented, but you see what happens? You see when you do clownery, the clown comes back to bite. And look, well, we won't even get into that because this is not a political show. All I'm saying is it's a mess, and I'm very glad that Cardi put out a very perceptive comment. And what's her name, Tommy? She's an ass. I really want to go ahead and say that. Pull that clip for me, y'all, because that's the truth.
I really value what you just said, Courtney, and I think you hit the nail on the head so well with that one. And I think Cardi did do the right thing in speaking up and in defending her stance here. And one thing before we move on into the next topic, I do want to let you all know if you do want to get involved or show your support somehow, you can text Floyd to 55156. You can donate to the Floyd's the GoFundMe account to Black Lives Matter. You can contact the Minneapolis DA and the police department. Their numbers are online, so just Google it. And you can sign the change.org petition. Yeah.
The chat is saying that Taylor Swift just put out a statement, and if it's okay, I would like to read it if I can find it. I found it.
Yeah.
She actually tweeted Donald Trump. She said, after stoking the fires of white supremacy and racism your entire presidency, you have the nerve to feign moral superiority before threatening violence. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. She said, we will vote you out in November. And Devyn, I'm going to go on record one more time, and I'm not going to swear because there are kids potentially watching, but Miss Taylor Allison Swift, now that's how you clear up. Meow. Donald Trump cleared. Now let's go on ahead and move on because Taylor did that. Now leave my girl alone.
I know that Taylor has been criticized in the past for being silent on political matters, and this is just a yes, Taylor moment. I'm glad. Okay. Now, moving on, this is sort of a story that's in the same vein, although obviously it's quite different. Madison Beer. So she caught a ton of flack, so much criticism after she posted an emotional live video. So the singer decided to go live on her TikTok to set the record. Are you laughing at this down here?
I'm laughing because Devyn, my friends, had put the clip that Leo's probably about to hit in our group chat the other day. And when I tell you, we had the biggest laugh at her, but go on ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt by laughing. It's just funny that exactly how that bar reads is exactly the story that Devyn is giving y'all. Sorry, I'm pretty, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So this is what happened. For those of you who might be in the dark, the singer decided to go live on her TikTok to clear up rumors that she's had plastic surgery. In the video, she said that she got lip filler years ago but had it dissolved because she hated it so much. She said, quote, "This is literally my effing natural face. I'm about to start crying, bro." So people were just outraged that she was crying about being, quote, too pretty when the rest of the world is reeling from that police brutality incident with George Floyd that we were talking about. So she took to her Twitter to address the controversy, and Leo's going to show you some of the criticism and tweets that she got. They're really just like calling her out. And she had some of her own tweets that I'm also going to show you, but she wanted to clear the air. She said, "I just want to briefly address this because this is upsetting and untrue. Me addressing rumors and hate when I did was poor timing and I apologize. I saw a video of someone claiming I give people eating disorders, which triggered and upset me a lot because that is not something I take lightly. In no world was what I was upset about in the same stratosphere as anything going on, but as someone who struggled with my relationship with food for years, I saw a video and I acted in a moment of hurt and I went live. I was in no way trying to negate or compare to what is going on." Then she posted about her support of Black Lives Matter. She shared petitions that people could sign. She also donated $5,000 to the GoFundMe. Some of her fans noticed. But Courtney, I want to say this was tone deaf. This was poorly timed. She should not have gone on in the middle of a week like this and started crying about being at the center of plastic surgery rumors and, addressing that people say she gives her fans eating disorders. I mean, obviously that I get that that's upsetting to her, but not the time. Like, this is when you need to say less. So what do you think?
Devyn, I'm still blown away because I had forgotten about it. And the fact that you unlocked this vault in my brain and it uncovered the memory again is hilarious to me. I'm sure she did not mean any harm. And here's the comedy, because I'm sure y'all are like, why is he laughing? This is like not funny. The comedy in it for me, you guys, is I thoroughly think it's hilarious when celebrities are when they are being 100% serious, because I believe with all my heart, Madison Beer said, "You know what? This ends today." And she sat that phone up there and she went live. But it's hilarious to me when very wealthy people are so painfully and aggressively tone deaf. It was the same thing with Justin Bieber when he was like, "I know there's a lot going on in the world, but we shouldn't feel bad for what we have because we worked hard for it." Like, girl, Kendall with the Pepsi. "I'm going to stop racism. Here's a Pepsi." Well, Kenny, where's the Pepsi now, sis? Because we need you. You get what I'm saying? It's just like all sorts of like tone deaf garbage. Shout out to Madison Beer because, as you guys know, I do enjoy Madison Beer's music. This was just a stumble for her. I'm not going to fault her forever, but like, when the timing is wrong, the timing is wrong. This is where you have to use the phrase, Devyn, read the room. She was not reading the room.
Exactly. There have been a lot of celebrities who have not been reading the room this week, although I do have to say I'm glad that she ended up changing her tune, that she did send out these petitions. She has a huge audience and a huge fan base following her, so her posting those petitions probably did garner a bunch of new signatures. So at least she did what she could to rectify the situation. I do want to give her props for that, but just hopefully in the future she reads the room before she decides to go live and cry about lip filler. I don't know. Okay, let's move on to Olivia Jade, another person who has... yes?
We gotta do the Miss Mika song because I see Mika in the chat, girl. Count me down, girl.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya. Miss Mika, she on fleeka. Miss Mika, she loves the tea ya, and we see ya. Miss Mika, go Mika, go Mika, go Mika. Happy Shambong Friday to Mika. Hey Mika, thank you for joining us today. Good to see you.
You cut out a little bit when I was doing the dance, so I didn't do the right moves at the right time, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, so Olivia Jade. Let's talk about Miss Olivia Jade. We've been talking about her a lot this week. She's working on getting her life back to normal while her parents work out their prison sentence. They have their hearing on August 21st. A source close to the star says, quote, getting back on YouTube is still the end goal, but she knows that for a while she might face some struggle. The insider revealed that, quote, brands might want to capitalize on this whole situation and will be interested in working with her. It might not be her ideal picks, but she knows there's still a platform there for her, and she will regroup and rebuild her brand in one way or another. There are so many things that I want to say about that, but I'm just going to move on to the next quote and then we'll address it. The source went on to say Olivia has the mindset that nothing lasts forever, and while she knows it will be an uphill battle, she feels much more confident than she did 6 months ago. So here's what I think. I get that this girl wants to move on, and I respect that. I don't think that this should hang over her head forever. It was a terrible thing that happened, but, fine, move on. But being a YouTube star is not the right answer. I feel like she needs to go to college, as we've been saying since day one, get, her associate's degree, get her, bachelor's degree, whatever it is, find a normal job, marketing manager, real estate agent, do a lot of community service, like find that humility that you need, but going and accepting brand deals off of companies that want to capitalize off of the situation, to me, it just kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies. But what do you think about this?
Before we even get into that, Devyn, because Olivia Jade, girl, good night and go. Natalie said, Devyn Howard's face when Courtney said, bring back the Pepsi during the Kendall situation. LOL, love you guys. Love you too, Natalie. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really wish that Olivia Jade would go away, honestly, Devyn. Not because I dislike her, but because I feel as though, what does she really have to offer right now besides more insight into how she scammed her way into college? I don't think that brands should work with her. I think that this should be a lesson to other families and children that could potentially be plotting to do the same thing. I think that she deserves to lose it all, just like Lori lost it all because she participated in it. I wouldn't say that I'm opposed to her 7, 8, 9, 10 years down the line writing a book about it and it becoming a New York Times bestseller, a movie, television show. Turn your tragedy into art. You get what I'm saying? Turn it and spin it into something else. I just don't want her to do the YouTube thing because I feel like it'll be inauthentic and all the comments will be about her mom anyway. So
it feels weird. It feels not right because being able to, I don't know. To me, it just doesn't feel right. It seems hard to accept payments from brands that want to capitalize on the drama, and I don't know. It feels not good to me. But let's move on into celebrity therapy. We don't have a ton to get into here, but there's some exciting news that I want to share for those of you Little Mix fans. Leanne Pinnock just got engaged, so she is dating an English soccer player, a football star. Football star. That's my terrible English accent. They announced their engagement in an Instagram post. They were celebrating their 4-year anniversary with an at-home date night, and he decided to pop the question. So congratulations to Leanne and Andre. Send your love to them in the chat if you're fans. Do you like Little Mix, Courtney?
I really like Little Mix a lot, and we've talked about it on the show in the past that it's frustrating, Devyn, that Little Mix doesn't get the recognition that they deserve, and it's my speculation that the reason why they're not successful is because they're not dramatic. They all like each other. They're all friends. There's no drama. You got to think about all the great girl groups. Even TLC. I'll say Destiny's Child, TLC, Fifth Harmony. For those of you guys that obviously know Fifth Harmony, there was always some sort of drama. TLC with the money and Lisa burning down the house. Destiny's Child with what's her face? Are you bringing the bags overseas or not? Beyonce said, "Girl, you out the group." It's just Fifth Harmony. They blew Camila off the stage. Remember that? They blew Camila off the stage, girl. Oh, I'll never forget that. That's the best shit I've ever seen. But Little Mix, they're all like Kiki, and we're all sisters. And I guess that's cool for the Cheetah Girls, but I think that sometimes people look for the drama. Same thing with Pussycat Dolls. There's drama there, and that's why we want to hear, are the other girls going to sing? Like, that's the drama there. There's no drama with Little Mix. It's not right, and I don't agree, but that's what I feel. I feel like people don't care because they're not dramatic.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. And they're very talented. I like their songs. I get Shout Out to My Ex stuck in my head at least once a week. I don't know why. It just gets in there and doesn't leave for a little while. So if they have the power over my mind like that, they're good. You know they're good. I wanted to call out AD really quickly. She gave us $2 and said, what's the Disick tea? Honey, you just wait for it. We're going to be getting into it.
Oh, wait until we get to Kylie Jenner tea time.
Hard dinner tea time, yeah. Okay, so the next story that I want to get into is about a Victoria's Secret model who is pregnant. So Romy and her boyfriend Lawrence have just announced that they are becoming parents. She took to her Instagram to share the exciting news and detailed her struggle with polycystic ovarian syndrome. She said that she developed polycystic ovarian syndrome because she put her body through so much stress between restricting foods, traveling a lot, and working out so much. And she admitted that her weight was not really ideal or healthy for her, which I think is such a great realization for a model to have because there's so much pressure to stay thin. She said that she was constantly in fight or flight mode, and this diagnosis can mean that you might struggle to get pregnant, and so Romy is just thrilled that she was able to conceive. She and her boyfriend have been together for such a long time, like since high school, so I think they're very cute, and that baby is going to be so beautiful. I can't wait to see what he or she looks like.
That's exciting. Congrats to them. I want to take this moment now that we have a story like this to say shout out to everyone that's like struggling to have a baby. I'm not 30 yet, but I'm almost 30. And I feel like the older I get, the more I'm starting to notice just people around my age and even older and some younger that they really struggle to have children. They have infertility issues. They have ovary things happening. So I just want to say if you're struggling right now, keep hope alive. You never know what could happen. You never know what science could come out. Beauty YouTuber, you guys might know her, Desi Perkins. She struggled to have a baby, and now she's having a baby. She's one of my favorite beauty influencers. So just know that there's light for you at the end of the tunnel, and there are options. So shout out to you, and we see you and acknowledge you.
Aw, thank you for saying that, Courtney. That was really great.
Yeah.
Also, I want to shout out Lisa Reed really quickly. She gave us $4.99 on the super chat. Thank you so much. Okay. Now, the final couples therapy story to get into is about Dylan Sprouse and Barbara Palvin. I think it's funny that this story, that they were saying all of this stuff right after Cole and Lily broke up, because Cole's obviously going through the trenches of a public breakup, and now Dylan's talking about how he and his girlfriend are just stronger than ever. He said that being in quarantine has helped him realize that he and Barbara are, quote, super compatible. It's like we know when to give each other space. We know when the other needs space. He was talking about how they have their little morning routine and their little nighttime routine, and being confined in that one space together and not being able to go anywhere else has really helped them just like get so much closer, and they're so strong. So I'm sure Cole loves hearing this update about his brother's thriving relationship while he and Lily are breaking up, and people are like freaking out all over the internet. Cole is currently quarantining with KJ Appa, and apparently they've just been working out and eating cheese, which sounds like gross. I don't want to hear about.
I was like, isn't that counterproductive?
Yeah, it doesn't seem right.
Working out? All right. If they like it, I love it, girl.
So anyway, that's the news about Dylan Sprouse and Barbara Palvin. They are doing well. Cole doing well, eating his cheese with KJ Appa, and that's the tea on that. And now we move into our next segment, Card Jenner Tea Time.
Card Jenner Tea Time. Oh, the good old folks at Hollyscoop.
It was
you guys.
It was pre-recorded. And now we have to do that. Hello to everybody in your house.
Hello to everyone in my studio. It's no one, it's me.
Okay, so now is it time to pour it up, pour it up? Watch
Oh
it
yeah,
all
it's time
out.
for that champagne bottle. After that, I need one, girl. Hold on. I ain't gotta pop no bottle open because I still have my champagne from last night because we certainly did pop the bottle for Miss Chromatica Lady Gaga. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. What? Put that down there, dear. All right. Cheers to the Kardashians. I'll say this because we know that there are some people that feel as though we are Kardashian haters, Devyn. Shout out to the Kardashians. Each of them, to my knowledge, have posted something about George Floyd. And let me tell you, I was prepared to come on up here and girl drag them by their little ponytails. But Kylie posted something. They've all posted something. And I feel like that family that love black people the way that they do, they should have been one of the first ones. But something is better than nothing. So cheers to the Kardashians today.
Cheers to the Kardashians. I don't want it. I'm super hesitating to drink this right now.
There you go, girl. Look how you handled that. The people's champ.
We have $5 from Jasmine Nelms. She says,
Thanks,
Courtney, when do you go live on your channel again?
I go live every single Sunday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. So check your local listings.
All right, check your local listings. Also, Karina, who says Devyn's cup literally looks like it has subtle rainbow on it. It does. It's iridescent. Ooh. I'm obsessed with these little glasses. So yes, they're rainbow. I love iridescent anything. Okay, so you guys, let's get into our first story. This is all about Khloe Kardashian. She clapped back at a troll who asked her why her face always looks different. We just talked about how Khloe looked completely unrecognizable on Instagram. She posted the picture on Friday, I think it was, and she just literally does not look like herself. And now, yesterday, she posted new glam shots, and she looks more like the Khloe we're used to seeing on Instagram. One person commented on her picture, as I mentioned, asking her why she looks so different. And she said, from my weekly face transplant, clearly. So I typically love a good clapback. This was not her strongest. I feel like it made me chuckle in my head a little bit. She's obviously not going under the knife every single week, but she is going a little overboard with the Facetune. Was this a good clapback, Courtney? What do you think?
I wish she just wouldn't have said anything at all at this point. Like, Khloe, we know that you love to Facetune, and we know you're not the master of it. So at this point, girl, just say, I had a couple cocktails and my finger got a little lazy, and now I look like Malika, Trilika, Khadijah. So, I mean, girl, shh.
But here's something that I wonder about that photo from last week. Do you think that she posted that because she knew it would cause people to go crazy? Because, okay, I've had friends, and when they take pictures in a group setting, they will edit me, and they'll edit the other girl, and they'll make our noses smaller. I had one friend of mine tried to post a picture of all of us where my forearm literally went like this. She, made it my forearm was so... I don't know what was going on there, but it was like I had no bones in my forearm. I wish I could find that picture because it was so funny. But I noticed these things. I noticed crazy editing on influencers' photos. I noticed it on the Kardashians. So don't you think that when they've been on the receiving end of this kind of criticism so often, that Khloe would look at that photo and think, is this a good idea for me to post this, or are people going to go wild over it?
Well, they love it. They love outrage, and they thrive off of outrage. So everything that happened right after she posted that photo was all part of the plan. We sat up there and dragged her. People were upset that I dragged her. You should never make fun of anyone's looks. She's making a fool out of y'all, defending her, because all that means is that eventually y'all will sit down there with your unedited photos and think unconsciously, well, how can I look like Khloe? Not saying that you're going to sit up there and go, oh, I want to look like Khloe, but it's unconscious because you're always looking at her so much to the point that you feel like you need to defend her. So just know that it's all done on purpose to create conversation. And honestly, mission accomplished, because we sat right up here, and talked about it. So good job. You guys did it.
And also, I want to point out that there's nothing wrong with filtering your photos, or if you have a pimple on your face and you want to smooth it out or whatever, go for it. I'm not trying to hate on anybody who Facetunes their pictures. It's just with the Jenners, and I love Khloe. I actually really enjoy following the family and seeing what they're doing. It's just funny when you see her nose, it, like, shrinks to be, like, smaller than my 3-year-old nephew's nose, and the lips are all different, and, you know, it's just like, people are going to say stuff, and you must know that. So you think they do it consciously and intentionally?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think Kylie washing her face for 0.5 seconds. I remember Khloe with the claw. She did like a Photoshop something or Facetune something. And y'all remember that? She had the 2 double pinky. She had the Siamese pinkies, girl. I think they do it on purpose. I feel like with as much money and attention to detail as they have to have being who they are, they have to do it on purpose. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that finger.
I ain't forgetting, girl. Who's like Mr. Krabs, girl?
Okay, let's get into the last story that we have for you today. So this one is obviously going to be about Scott Disick, Sofia Richie, and Kourtney Kardashian. This is the moment that you guys have been waiting for. I've seen you all in the chat saying, "What's the Disick tea?" The time has come. Let's just do another quick
Wait. You go ahead and drink. I've noticed that the tea is draining this laptop, and I need to plug it in, girl. So go ahead and sip, solve the story, and I'll be back in literally 4 seconds. Hold that thought. Give that thought.
I'm not going to begin the story without Courtney, you guys. So I'm just going to sit here, have my iridescent glass filled with, you know, wow, that was very
Look how I did that. I said 4 seconds. I'll live over there. I just forgot to plug it in.
A few minutes to like share my life story, talk about things. You were literally gone for like a millisecond. Okay, time to drink.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Actually, not bad at all. I do enjoy this. You guys, this is a Be Social sparkling wine. It's yummy. So,
you know which one of those I like, Devyn? And I have to be honest. There's a brand called Main and Vine or something like that, and they do the wine coolers in the can like that. And they have a watermelon cucumber, girl. You take a sip of that, you feel like you in the spa, girl, with cucumbers on your eyes, girl. I promise y'all need to get that at your local supermarket. Main and Vine, girl. The little wine coolers in the little can, girl. Yes, that's it.
Ooh.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Okay, so let's talk about Scott Disick, Kourtney Kardashian, and Sofia Richie. So if you watched the morning tea yesterday, you know that Scott and Sofia have officially broken up. We suspected that they were splitting up or broken up for a while before the official news came out, and now we know that they are broken up. Scott spent the weekend with Courtney in Utah. She took him there intentionally because she felt like this hotel Amangiri in Utah is like a very peaceful and restorative and healing place. So she was trying to show Scott, that he can be happy and just give him like a really peaceful experience. So that whole Scott-Courtney narrative has been going on for a long time now, and them spending the weekend together didn't really help any of the storylines that we've been hearing about Scott still being in love with Courtney and Scott wanting to get back together with Courtney. So now an insider has actually spoken with Us Magazine, and they said, quote, Scott is always going to be in love with Courtney, and that's something Sofia has had to face since even before she got serious with him. It's been an ongoing thing. So I want to stop here for a second before I finish that quote. If I was Sofia and it was an ongoing thing that my boyfriend was still in love with the mother of his children and still not over her in a romantic way, I would never have been able to let myself get into a relationship with him. Don't you feel like that?
I wonder, Devyn, if this is a Kar Jenner source that has spoke to Us Magazine, or whose side is the source on? You get what I'm saying? Because I know that y'all are like, oh my God, you hate Courtney. Oh my God, Courtney, you're reaching. Oh my God, your arm is sore. But y'all, in my opinion, I feel like y'all literally put everything past the Kar Jenners, and y'all should watch this show long enough to know that you shouldn't. I very much feel like there's a lot more to the story, and I would like to hear it from Sofia. I don't want to hear it from any of them. I don't want to hear it from a source from the Kar Jenner camp. I want to hear it from Sofia, from Lionel. What about the other camp? What's going on with Sofia? What happened? If it was something so bad, Devyn, I just would like to hear it from her. Simply because I don't really believe anything that they say. And I think that we would be fools to simply sit up here and just believe anything that a source said to Us Magazine. That clearly could have been our good sis, Miss Chrissy, just making some phone calls. We know that she'd be making some phone calls over to TMZ, to Mr. Harvey. So what's the tea? Nothing is like y'all be giving them all of this. Well, no, a family is always gonna... Someone said, Devyn, yesterday, someone said I must have grown up without a family because I said that Sofia and Scott should move to New York. No, y'all. Y'all are realizing that y'all are defending the family where the head of the family turned a sex tape into profit and an empire. Hello, what is going on here? I definitely believe that there's more to the story, and I definitely believe, speculation, not confirmation, that Kris Jenner is behind it. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I would not be surprised if Kris Jenner was behind these quotes. The only thing is I think if Sofia were to speak out, I don't think she would ever say, I willingly got into a relationship with a man who was not over his ex. I think that she'd probably find some, more like neutral, more palatable way to explain what went wrong in their relationship. But I agree with you. I want to hear from Sofia, and I would love it if she released like a 10-minute vlog about, everything that happened, if she really just spilled the tea and let us drink it. But I don't think that she's going to do that. It doesn't seem like her style. She's much more of I know she's a high profile celebrity, but in the realm of high profile celebrities, she's pretty low profile, I would say. She's not.
You know what I would want, Devyn? This is what I want. This is how we're going to get the answers we seek. Somebody, and it can't be me, because y'all going to know it's me. Someone needs to wrangle all of the ex-members of the Kardashian Jenner circle. And they all need to give anonymous testimonies, all signed by NDAs and all of that. Anonymous testimonies about their experience with the Kardashian Jenner family, and they need to put it in a book and publish the book. Nobody has to know who said what. Certain details can be changed to protect the identity. And we get the tea. That's what needs to happen. Simply because working here so long, Devyn, I just don't believe a lot of the things that they put out. It's always proven time and time again, like, oh, we heard this, but 6 weeks later, this is actually the case. That's the plus about us always following them every day. Something in the buttermilk is not clean. I don't believe it.
Okay. Thank you, Courtney. I like that. I like that idea, and I'm going to count on you I know you don't want to be the one to do the wrangling, but I feel like it should be you. I think you always have the brilliant ideas. The final quote from this insider that I want to read said, quote, "The quarantine has put a spin on things for Scott. He's always had issues, especially with addiction, and that's always been a concern on the Kardashians' end and Sofia and her family's end. Sofia noticed that he wasn't doing well, and she gave him an ultimatum, and in the end, it seemed like Scott was more focused on Courtney and his kids than her." So here's my feelings with this one. I think, of course, Scott is going to be more focused on his kids than Sofia. Scott is going to always put his kids before literally everyone. But what I thought was interesting about this source was that it said, or he or she said, that he was more focused on Courtney and the kids instead of just the kids. So I would get why that would cause Sofia to want to turn and walk the other way when she's already dealing with all of these other things with Scott, and now she has to deal with him choosing Courtney over her. So the main gist of what this insider was saying and what he or she was revealing was the fact that Scott consistently prioritized Courtney over Sofia. And I'm not hugely surprised by that. I feel like, I don't know. I've always felt like Scott was still in love with her. I always felt like Scott. You want to say something? Tell me what you want to say.
The reason why is because I'm thinking about this comment I read. Annoying. I'm not going to read the comments today. I'm thinking about this comment I read that was like, Courtney doesn't even want to be on the show anymore, so you're reaching. What are you talking about? Hello. If you watch the show, if you literally just heard Devyn Howard, this is Courtney's storyline. She may not want to be on the show anymore. However, she has signed paperwork that has her contractually obligated to be on the show. And to be on the show, she has to have a story. And who is her story? The poosh is not working out. Sorry, y'all that are upset that if you really follow, poosh is not working out, y'all. Get over it. Poosh is not working out. It's not a viable brand. Nobody cares about Poosh. You get what I'm saying? You can't make a storyline for 10, 12, 13 plus episodes of Courtney managing Poosh. You know what a storyline is, though? Courtney taking care of Scott. Oh my God, is Courtney getting in between Scott and Sofia? Oh my God, Scott goes to rehab. What if he goes away for a really long time? Courtney's now a single mother. Those are storylines. Those are plot points. Even if Courtney does not want to be on the show anymore, she's still on it. You get what I'm saying? And to be on it, you have to have a story. And without Scott being in Los Angeles, it's not going to work, which is why I felt as though, speculation not confirmation, Chris set up the rehab stunt. It's just very obvious to me. And I think to not at least be like, would just mean that you're gullible. Sorry, not sorry. Demi Lovato said it best.
I love that song. Okay, really quickly, Natalie Guzman gave us two, I think it's pounds or maybe euros. I can't remember now.
What's up, Natalie? Thank you, Natalie.
So nice of you. So do you feel like last season on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kourtney's whole storyline was that she no longer wanted to be part of Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Like this whole thing about Kourtney wanting to not do it was actually the reason. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to like articulate it in a way that.
And Devyn, think about it. Before that, what did we really talk about in terms of the Kardashians? Jordan. The next big thing after that was Courtney doesn't want to be on the show. Courtney rocked Kim's Edna Mode bob wig. You get what I'm saying? All of it is to start conversation. It's all about the outrage. There was outrage of, well, they have it so easy. Why wouldn't Courtney want to be on the show? She's a real human being. She deserves to not want to live her life in front of the camera. Controversy and conversation. And we all play a part in it in our own way. It's just, I think that it's good to recognize it. I think that there are some people that are in denial about the part that the Kardashians play in their own brand. Like, they're not real people. It's all a setup, y'all. It's all a setup. Like, oh,
I feel like
phone.
We need a segment on the morning tea called Kourtney's Conspiracies. And then you could just give all like the truth about all these different stories, all these different shows, everything. That would be actually such a good segment on here. Half of them are really conspiracy theories. They're like facts.
I just call it how I see it. You get what I'm saying? I know it's easy to watch a show and be like, well, that's not right. But like I said, when you work here and you have to follow the Kardashians 5 days out of the 7-day week, you start to notice things, Devyn Howard.
Yep. Well, we still have a few more minutes left, but that wraps up that Scott and Courtney news. So for those of you in the chat, let us know what you think is really going on over here. Are you surprised that this source that says that Scott consistently prioritized Courtney over Sofia? I personally am not surprised by that. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap up the show? Any shows that you want to recommend? Any news you want to touch on?
The only thing that I want to say, Devyn Howard, is that I think that it is very interesting that Forbes then put out this article that's saying Kylie Jenner got a web of lies. They're also claiming that she ain't no longer a billionaire. Now, I'm going to sip this. Now, we know that Coty, the brand, bought out Kylie Cosmetics. So what happened there would be my question. Right, T-Tribe? Kylie sold off her business. She sold off like a portion of her business or sold the business to Coty, who does like the good airspun powder. So what's going on there? What happened? Was Kylie ever a billionaire? Suddenly those people that are like, Kylie's not a self-made billionaire, all of a sudden they're about to jump on their soapboxes, girl. They're about to be like, we told you! She's not a self-made billionaire!
So, you guys, well, first of all, Samantha gave us $4.99. She wants to be your friend. She says, Courtney, can we please be friends? I love you, and I'm always saying yes to what you have to say. So that was really nice.
Thank you, Samantha. We're already friends. You're here. I see you. We see each other.
Also, I wanted to bring attention to the fact that I saw a lot of you guys in the chat saying, are you going to talk about Kylie's article? And then I saw Karina explaining that we may not be talking about it. Karina, thank you so much for pointing that out. That news came out like just as we were going live, so we didn't have a chance to read the article, but I have it up on my phone right now, and I want to read it, but obviously it's too long, so we can't fill you in right now. But I have a feeling this is going to be a Celeb Bite news story for later today, so that'll go up this afternoon, and you guys can get, I'll be doing it, so you'll get my thoughts and opinions on everything that's being said, but it is an interesting thing to think about, and I'm curious to know if Kylie was ever a billionaire, or if that was a bit of an exaggeration. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it because I don't know what the article even says yet.
But Devyn, before we go, how much time we got left? Oh, we got 2 minutes, girl. I do want to say, speculation on confirmation, y'all. There have been rumors out that the Kardashians could potentially be living beyond their means. Rumors, saying that their lavish and expensive life that they live, they show it on the show, but really they're spending more and more than they can afford, which is why they're always trying to come out with these new projects and they're trying to keep the show afloat. Just rumors, little inklings that we hear here and there. So just something to keep in the back of your mind in case something big happens down the line, because I'll forget. You'll be the ones to be like, oh, remember when you said back in May that this, and this was happening? What you got to say, Devyn?
Okay, so one thing that I want to mention really quickly, Courtney, that reminded me, I saw an article this morning saying that Kylie is selling the starter home that she bought when she was 17. She purchased it for something above the 2.5 million range, and now she's selling it for like 3.1 million. Obviously, when you're a billionaire, 3.1 million is it's a big chunk of change, but it doesn't really change much for you in terms of like your day-to-day life or whatever. But what I is, wait, what were you going to say, Courtney?
No, I was just agreeing. I was saying, yeah, girl.
Oh, okay. But maybe, and we also heard that Khloe is trying to sell her $19 million home. So maybe you're onto something. Maybe they're selling their homes and getting rid of these different assets because they need the cash. I don't know. I don't really want to go on record and say that right now. It's just a thought. It's something to think about.
It's a speculation, not confirmation, girl. It's the meaning of the phrase, girl. Look how she coming to play, girl. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I need one of those sweatshirts, by the way. I need to buy one.
Yes, girl. Get you a speculation, not confirmation hoodie right on over at my channel. Teespring, y'all.
Okay, I'm going to do that. All right, you guys. Well, that wraps up our show for the day. We will have moments of the week coming for you this weekend, so be sure to tune into that. Like I said, I will probably talk about this Kylie stuff in the 4th Celeb Bite news story that's going to be going up later today. We're going to be back with the morning tea on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so tune in, subscribe, tap the bell, share this video with your friends, leave a comment below, and yeah, have a great weekend, you guys. Stay safe, wash your hands for at least 20 seconds at a time, wear a mask, just be a good person, send some love to people around you, and have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys. Now, wash your hands, Leo. You better wash your hands. It's intimate. You better wash your hands. Your hands is there. Wash your hands. It's intimate. You better wash your hands. Scrub your hands. Scrub your hands. It's intimate. You better scrub your hands. Scrub your hands. It's intimate. Scrub.